This week, during Letter Lent, we're going to journey through some of the parables together. The parables are just so beautiful and provocative. Some of them we've probably heard so many times before, countless times. And yet still, they're like diamonds that we hold up in the light, and as we turn, different facets, different beautiful things come out. The light pours through it in different ways. Today's parable is in Mark chapter 4, and it's verses 1 all the way down to 20. It kind of comes in two parts, today's reading. There's a part where Jesus tells the parable of the sower, and then a part where Jesus interprets it with his disciples. And there's a couple of questions we can maybe ask to this familiar parable. First of all, what does this parable teach us about people? Jesus explores that this parable is about the condition of people's hearts and how they receive the kingdom. The second question is, where are you in today's parable? Where am I in today's parable? What is the condition of your heart today? I'd love it if you could take some time and pray and read this parable and ask that question. But a third question is, where is Jesus in this parable? And we could answer that question all sorts of different ways. It's an indirect question, not necessarily posed by the text, but one that might give us a different perspective, a different facet today. Is Jesus the farmer, the one who scatters his seed, knowing that some of the places where he scatters it, it will not grow? An image of God's love, that God's love is given to all. To all. It might only be some who receive, it might only be some who are rooted, but God still gives. Is Jesus one of the soils? Is Jesus the rich soil that receives the word of God and produces a crop, a harvest that is bountiful? Is Jesus the one who in his perfect obedience fulfilled the kingdom and therefore expanded what God is doing and who God is? Or is Jesus the seed? Is Jesus that agent of God that takes root in our hearts and brings transformation and new life? I like that one the most. But if I pursue that one, well, I come to this picture of Jesus, that Jesus allows himself to be spread on those who reject him. That Jesus is liberal with himself. Jesus is just wasteful of his love. That he spreads himself out across hard hearts, across stony paths, in difficult places, in shallow places, in order that he might be spread amongst all people. I like that image of scandal and generosity, because I think that's often at the heart of the cross of grace of the gospel. Ask those three questions as you read this passage today and see what God might say to you.